Hi Royal Family, it's Prince Phoenix here. Thank you very much for watching this video and welcome to my channel for those who are new. So today it's March the 11th, it's a Wednesday 2020. I'm back in the hotel, so it's been 4 days post-op and what a challenge that was. I'll try to cover as much as I can in this video without boring you too much. Sorry I haven't done updates in between. I was just so weak that I couldn't actually film anything during that time. Okay, so where do I start? So on Thursday, March the 5th, myself and my sleep sisters went to a little place called the Secret Garden here in Bangkok for our last supper. Really good food. If you are wanting to have that last supper and to kind of bond with your sleep family a little bit more, highly recommend it. It was recommended to me and it didn't disappoint. The service was incredible. Shortly after that, we went back to the hotel, and at around 11 p.m. or between 10 and 11, we all met down in the lobby and were taken to Destination Beauty, to the hospital. When you get in that bus, it becomes so real, and you know, all these emotions go through your head. When we got to the hospital, we went to the ICU units, which is where you will stay for the next few days. We kind of all got separated into little rooms, our little private rooms, which is really nice. It was a little bit like going to summer camp a little bit, you know, and some of the girls were told to be quiet because they were doing too much socializing that night when we were supposed to be resting. I love my sleep sisters, they're so neat. So that night I was probably petrified, to be honest, and thinking, what have I done? Am I doing the right thing? You know, it's natural to have all these emotions and fears go through your head. So I didn't have much sleep that night. I'm one of those people that needs the aircon on to sleep, especially here in Bangkok, and for some reason wasn't working in that little room, and I'm just too polite to actually ask for help. So I should have really asked the nurses to turn it on, but I just didn't want to bother anyone. And I was freaking out, so I didn't sleep very well that night. And here we are.
เอาตกลงเข้าไหนละไม่ต้องสแกนเหรอหลังสี่ทุ่มเปิดครับหลังสี่ทุ่มเปิด
To have a clock. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is my room, guys. This is just the ICU room, so this is not the proper room that we'll be staying in. It's just where we are recovering the first 2 days after the surgery. So this is a cool little chair, but it has a little surprise. A little chair and there's hello, which is extremely odd. I'm assuming that's for when you need to do urine tests and stuff. Yeah, because there's no loo paper. So I doubt that you can do, you know, your other business. Yeah, so that's my room. They give you lots of water, which is nice. Which is great, because I'll need it. I'm a bit nervous. I'm really nervous. But let me just introduce you to my little friend here. I always wanted a Care Bear doll, never got one. It sings, but I won't play it there. But anyway, just to have to keep me company. Yeah, that's my room. Okay, so it's about 5:30 a.m. Friday, the 6th of March, 2020. I've just woken up. I couldn't really get to sleep until about midnight, and I've just woken up because they came in to give me, excuse me, they came in to give me like a little needle. I heard about the needle in the stomach and I've been like terrified because I don't like needles at all. But it was really fine that it was kind of like a bee sting, like you didn't feel it until afterwards. But it wasn't even painful. It just feels like someone's just stung you, you know, so a little bit of a tingle. And they just checked my blood pressure and they said that they will be back at 7 a.m. for my breakfast. Yeah, I've had a bit of a cry this morning. And I thought I'm going to video this because you don't really hear much from the boys that go through this journey. And it's not really just the surgery that's overwhelming. I think after you do the pre-op test where they put the camera down your throat and knock you out, you feel a bit more calm about the whole thing and you feel like you are really in good hands. But I think for me personally, it's just so much has happened in the last year. I'm so emotional about it. I'm just thinking about it all. So I'm a little bit I feel a bit overwhelmed, but it's okay, and I know I'm going to get through this really well. And this is just the beginning of me doing so many things that I really want to fix in my life, that I have to do this. I'm sorry to cry on you, but I just feel like I have to video this. So you know that it's not always great and there's going to be bad days. That it's okay to be a bit like this on the day, especially. But honestly, I'm okay. I just feel that I don't really know how to feel. I just feel that you know, because I'm feeling by myself for a few hours because my partner's coming to visit at 9 o'clock. By the way, your partner or your support person can actually stay there. That's the little bed here in the ICU room. But I paid for him to stay in the hotel because I didn't really want him being uncomfortable. But he's going to come in with my friend Aaron. But yeah, I just feel a bit really sad in a way because I'm letting go of a person that held back for so long. And I was trying to be what everyone else wanted him to be. But he wasn't happy in the end. So this is a whole new world for me. And I'm going to try to do the best I can. You know, do things that put me out of my comfort zone, which I have done so far on this trip. Little things, but I want to do bigger things. So yeah, so I have breakfast at 7 a.m. and then I fast from 9 o'clock until my surgery. I'm actually first out of my group that has my doctor neuron. And so I'm at 4 o'clock. So this time tomorrow I'll probably be out of it and hopefully I can just sleep through it and not feel any discomfort until I have to walk around. But yeah, anyway, maybe I'll film more, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll see you on the other side. I don't really know at this stage, but I just wanted to capture how I was feeling right now. I'm not feeling sad, I just feel, well, yeah, I'm feeling sad, but it's not depression or anything like that, which I have felt in the last year. It's more sad because it's like I've had time now to be by myself and in a quiet space, and just everything from the last year has just been on my mind, and you know, it's just sad, you know, the loss of friends, the loss of my pets, and just thinking back on things I could have done better. But you know, new me starts today. I'm really, really interested to see how I go in a year's time and look back on this. And I'm sure it's going to be all worth it. Anyway, we're a family. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me. Talk soon. Okay, so that was my cry earlier. It's completely normal. You know, let it out. I feel so much better after doing that too. It is now just about 8:20 in the morning, so I'm enjoying my last bit of coffee. There's a cafe directly downstairs, which is amazing. I didn't really get a proper coffee the last few days because I've been trying not to drink it because you're not supposed to. Well, like post-surgery, you can't really have anything but black coffee. So I've been trying to kind of get into the routine of kind of not having coffee anymore. So this morning I decided to go get a latte, very tiny one, just you know, for old time's sake really. So after 8:30 I can't have any kind of dairy at all. I can have black coffee and black tea up until about 11 o'clock, and that's when I can't have any liquids whatsoever. So yeah, so I'm just going to drink this and enjoy it for the next 10 minutes. And what happens later on is, you know, just a lot of waiting around until about 3 o'clock when they prep me. My anaesthetist came in this morning. He was lovely. Explained everything to me, what he was going to do. He said to me, you know, about the drip, like how it would feel like a little bit of a sting and then I'll be knocked out. He said that he'll be putting things down my throat as well, so if I wake up with a sore throat or dry, that's what it's from. So it was really great that he let me know that, because I would have woken up and been like freaking out as to why I can't breathe or anything like that. He said that, you know, you do get gas pains, which everyone knows who goes on this journey, because what they do is they inflate your stomach so they can actually see inside. And what happens is that you get like a little bit of trapped gas. They removed about 80%, they say, but you could get it in your shoulders or in your lower abdomen as well. So he said to expect that as well. But no, he was really good. He also explained the catheter. So for boys, the catheter is different obviously when they insert it when you're asleep, but when they take it out I was a bit worried about how it would feel. I'm a boy, lower pain threshold. But they said that it feels kind of like when you have that last, like, you know, when you go to the bathroom and you just try to push out the last bit of pee. So that made me feel a little bit better, but I'll let you know in a few days time how it really felt. So yeah, so I'm just going to relax. My partner's going to come from the hotel to visit me a little later on with my friend Erin, who flew all the way from Melbourne last night to surprise me, although I kind of knew she was coming, because she kind of had to tell me in the last few days when I was really upset, which was a great surprise. I look horrible, excuse me for the way I look, but it's just really hot. Yeah, so they're going to come and join me, and yeah, and just enjoy the company until I have to prep and go in, and then I assume tomorrow I'll just be sleeping a lot, hopefully, and hopefully that day passes really quick so that I can get back to my normal self in a few days time, because I'm really looking forward to just having this part over and done with, you know, like they say, no pain, no gain. One thing I want to say is that the nurses here are tremendous, and so are the doctors. They're all so supportive and fantastic. You know, I think people worry about the language barrier, and yeah, there is a slight language barrier, but I mean, like, there's the universal language of body language, you know, just like bowing when you say thank you, and, you know, pointing at things. You know, they try their best to really understand you, and they've been through this before, that they kind of do know what you mean with certain things, but just be patient if you've never dealt with a language barrier in your life before. I've been lucky to grow up in a very multicultural family and multicultural area, so I'm used to it myself. But you know, a lot of people do get frustrated because they've never been around that, which is understandable. Just be patient. You know, they're doing their best, and you know, they want to look after you. They definitely do. Yeah, like, I mean, last night my air vent kind of switched off. I think I pressed something in the aircon, so it was my fault, and it switched off, and I was feeling really hot, and I just didn't want to bother them. And then this morning I explained it, and she kind of didn't understand. Then I pointed to the aircon. I said, "Cooler, cold, like I'm too hot." She's like, "Oh, okay," and she fixed it. So now I've got nice cool air, which is fantastic. I'm going to enjoy my coffee now and have a shower, and then I'm going to see what the day has to offer. Anyway, bye. My partner joined me at the hospital, and it's literally a waiting game. You know, you kind of feel like you're on Big Brother, or, you know, in a cell or something, because it's so confined. As comfortable as it was, don't get me wrong, it was good service and the nurses were amazing, but you know, your brain is playing all these tricks on you, and you know, questioning everything that, you know, you thought you were prepared for. So I was first, me and another girl at the same time, but I was the first from the group that were going to see Dr. Narong. And so 3:30 came, and they came and knocked on the door and they said, "Are you ready for surgery?" And I was like, no, I'm not ready. And I was saying to my partner, I'm not ready to go. Like, my brain wasn't ready to be prepared for that time. It was probably one of the scariest moments of my life ever. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried. And the male nurse was like, "Give your partner a kiss, goodbye." So I kissed my partner and he walked me out to the elevator. And then, they took us up to the level that had the operating theatres. And you get taken into a little room and just kind of lie there waiting your turn, really. And it's kind of daunting because you can see everyone rushing around getting ready, and then they wheel you in and all you see is people preparing. And I was trying not to look at anything because I didn't want to see any instruments or anything like that and scare myself even more. And had my eyes closed as much as possible, and they get you to hop on the bed, and you're wearing these robes that kind of tie up. They lace up on the sides so they can remove it during the surgery. And what happens is they actually raise the bed to that kind of angle to do the surgery. So they kind of take it off you and you kind of feel very exposed. Well, I did anyway. And then the anaesthetist came in and he just said, you're going to feel a little sting and you'll go to sleep. I probably should go back a little bit to early in the day. He had actually visited me and explained everything that was going to happen, and it was really thorough. He was amazing. My anaesthetist was so caring and understanding how I felt. He was really great. Can't praise him enough. So anyway, then I felt the bee sting and I don't really remember anything. The next thing I do remember was just waking up in a panic and in pain. The pain was incredible. Everyone's different when it comes to this pain. For me, I would have given it an 8 out of 10. It was I felt like I was being constricted a little bit, and I felt like someone had literally slashed my tummy open. I'm not trying to scare any of you, but that's how I felt. And they gave me morphine for it. And I think it was just a shock of waking up and not knowing what was going on. So unfortunately for me, the morphine made me nauseous and I vomited quite a bit that night, and I couldn't really sleep. They put compression stockings on, electric ones, so it's kind of it inflates and then deflates and sounds a little bit like Darth Vader breathing. So it's very hard to sleep during the night because all you hear is that, and it's a bit uncomfortable because every time you jerk, your tummy muscles kind of spasm a little bit and sting. The gas pains. So the gas pains that everyone talks about, again, everyone gets differently. Some people get in the shoulder, some get in the lower abdomen, some get in the chest area. I was one of those who got it in the lower abdomen up to the chest area, so kind of constantly go up and down. And for me, the best way for me to describe it was like a tight belt going around me and pulsating. Every time it kind of came, it was like a wave. The nurse actually said, "Oh, you're having contractions," as a joke. So I don't know if I've never had kids because obviously I'm a boy, but she said that's how some people feel or compare it to. So that first night was terrible. My partner later on told me that I didn't recognize him, and I was asking him who he was and asking him to tell my partner that I love him very much and I need him. So he was a bit scared that something had gone wrong with my brain or something. But after a while I got back to normal, and I was holding his hand and asking how if the doctor had come out to speak to him, and he said that he had, and said everything had gone really well. Apparently I asked him this 7 times during the night, so sorry Anthony. But that night was really tough. I was just sick all night and in pain. The nurses were great though. They kept coming in and checking on me and helping me as much as they could. And the next day I used to stay all day in bed, and I'm not one of those people who can just sit there all day. So it was like torture for me, just looking at the clock, hoping it would go, with pains coming and going all day and vomiting, It was the worst day. I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. It was just terrible. However, the next day came and I was okay. So, in their opinion, I was still feeling a lot of gas pains, but I was well enough to get up and go for a walk. So I got up and went for a quick walk around the ward, and it did help. And I tried to do as much as I could, but you just get so tired and run down. So then on day 3, I believe, they took me up to Ward 11 to my private suite, and it was just nice to kind of be in kind of like a more quiet and safe kind of feeling area, because you're in ICU, you've got that thing in the back of your mind that something may go wrong every now and then, which is why you're there, because they want to monitor you. But when you kind of go up to your ward, it's like a bit of a relief. So, you know, when that happens to you, just remember it's okay, you know, and it'll get better. So yeah, so then after that, I started feeling a lot better each day. I would walk around the ward. My little routine was every time, you know, I would need to do something like, you know, turn on the light or something like that, I would make an effort and walk around the ward once or twice to kind of encourage me to do more. What I would do, because the ward is like a square shape, what I would do is go around the ward, and then instead of going back to my door, I would go back the other way, because that would encourage me to walk further, because if I'd gone around the other way, I'd give up at the door. So that's what I did personally, and I found it worked so much better. So the catheter, okay, so let's talk about this, because I don't really hear boys talk about it, and I think it's something that probably should be spoken about. So the catheter, as you can imagine, it's an uncomfortable feeling to have, but good in a way, because you're not going to the bathroom all the time. So when they removed the catheter, the sensation I felt was kind of like, because they deflate the balloon that's inside you, I felt it pop a little bit, and that made me jump, but it didn't hurt. It was just a shock. And then when the catheter came out, I kind of felt like I was gushing wee, and I was worried that I was peeing everywhere, but I wasn't. So that's the sensation I felt, and it lasted like 3 seconds, not even. So if you're a boy and you're scared about getting a catheter done, don't be. It's actually, you don't feel anything at all. And when they put it in, you're under the anesthetic anyway, so you don't even notice that part. So yeah, so then I think the only thing I can really say is, like, the nurses were fantastic, and you know, we had a great translator at Destination Beauty on Ward 11, and she was really wonderful and very caring. So, you know, whenever I was in pain for something, she would like rub my arm, and she did to the others as well. All the doctors were very kind. We had a dietitian who visited us every day to explain what we're going to have, and you know, our surgeons would visit every day to check on us as well. So the level of care was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't praise them even more. The nurses were just so wonderful, and you felt so welcome by them. Nothing was too little or too big. You know, the only thing that I couldn't get used to was just them checking my blood pressure every like few hours. It was like torture for me, because my arms were already swollen and sore, but it had to be done, so that was fine. With the IV, so you know, they say drink the water, because the more water that you drink, once you can prove that you can drink like between 3 to 4 bottles of water, they know that you don't rely on the IV, so that's good. I had to be on the IV for a little bit more, because I am just recently been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So unfortunately for me, what was happening was that the sugar that was in the IV fluid wasn't working really well with me, so I had to get insulin injections put into me to help me feel better. Once I was okay and my blood sugar levels were fine and I was drinking enough water, they took the IV out. Unfortunately, they had to switch arms, because the original arm I had the surgery on, like originally they put it there. In my last video you would have noticed I had it there, the little needle, but then in surgery they removed it and put it on the side. Now that was in a bit too long, and as a result, unfortunately, my arm got swollen, and it's really, really sore, like so painful right now. I can't even like hold my phone in my hand. So they had to switch it to the other arm. But once they took that out, I think it was day 3, they took it out, it was so much better. You feel so much more relieved, because you can move around in the bed properly, and you know, you find yourself like being able to like get into bed easily and getting out of bed a little bit more easily. It's still a bit of a struggle, because the stitches from the main incision hurts, but you know, it will get better. But oh, the food. Okay, so on day 1 post-op, you don't eat anything because you're getting the IV fluids. Once you have that removed, you can start your foods. So the first day was, and you can have soups. So there's chicken broth, miso soup. I don't really remember the other ones, to be truthful. I got miso soup because I drink miso soup a lot in the real world, I suppose. So I have no problem with it, and I'm glad I did, because it really made me feel better. Drinking is really hard for the first few days. When you're drinking, you feel the liquid hit your tummy, and it's almost like a little bit of, it feels like a hunger pain that rises. You know, and you're a bit sore for a bit, and I'm still feeling it every now and then as well. That will pass, so don't worry. After that, we were moved on to soft food, so you can have like grilled, steamed fish, which is what I had a lot. I also had tofu and minced pork soup because I love soup, so it was helping me a lot. And omelets. I can't remember the other food, scrambled eggs, I think there was as well. Good morning, it's March the 10th, 2020. I'm feeling so much better now. It's day 3 post-op. Day 2 of eating solids. I had fish last night and I couldn't really finish it. And now it's about 20 past 7 and breakfast has just arrived. So here's what I got. So I've got like a broth that has carrots in it. It's really cold, but it's not too bad. It's nice to eat the carrots that way. And I have an omelette, so we'll see how much of this I can finish. But yeah, again, I'm feeling so much better. I feel like myself again. Had a bit of a fever yesterday, but wasn't too concerning. And it's gone now, so we'll see how we go. Okay, so I'm full, and look how much I ate. Not gonna lie, a lot more than I thought. And that's pretty much what you have until you leave the hospital. And then once you do leave the hospital, you're told you can start having proteins, like your chicken and fish, pork. And, you need to have your vegetables too. So that's what I kind of lived off for the last few days. Had my water. One more thing I would suggest too is make sure you buy some infusion flavored tea to take with you into the hospital. I bought some and stupidly forgot to take it when I packed my bag to come on this trip. But some of the other girls were angels and gave me some of theirs, and then my partner went and got some in the end. And it so helped because the water feels so thick and heavy. Like the last few months, I've actually been a really good water drinker. No problems with it, but it was so hard to kind of digest it because it just feels so heavy. Also chill it. So what I would suggest is to rotate the drinks. As soon as it gets hot, put it back in the fridge, get another one. They have a little measuring thing on it, so just let the nurses know that you're having more than one. But you do feel a lot better, and just keep sipping away. Soon sips will turn into little mini gulps. And you'll feel better from it. When you're peeing, so just so you know, when you go to have a wee, and I'll post a little video that I did this morning, for boys you get this little tube that you put your penis in and pee in it, like a little cup, and you have to measure your urine and notate down the time. For women, it's like a little cup inside the toilet bowl. My neighbour showed me hers today, and yeah, it's really quite interesting, and it's interesting to see how much you actually go to pee. What I would recommend too is once you have the catheter out and you start peeing, every time you go pee, have a sip of water after, do 2 laps if you can around the ward. You will feel so much better because it'll help the water go down quicker, and you'll just feel a bit more yourself. Even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, I found when I woke up to go pee in the morning, I'll do that routine and I would feel so much better. It's good to walk around. You feel so much better once you start doing it. Okay, so I'm going to show you my room. So this is my room. Excuse the mess. Alright, so here you have your light switches and a flashlight, which is really quite cute. Here you have a full cupboard. I never really used it because I didn't have that much with me. I left all the stuff at the hotel. There's a safe, drawers, slippers. Here are some flowers that the back ones my friend Erin got me, and the front ones Anthony got me. You can buy them in the street. People make them and they smell like jasmine. If you can, if you've got a support person or someone who can get you some, make sure you do, because it makes your room smell so good. This thing I am not gonna miss. This was my vomit cup, so I was very nauseous to the anesthesia, not the anesthesia, the morphine. So I'll vomit up bile in that. This is my little spheres that you gotta blow, well actually you gotta suck, you're gonna inhale it to kind of help your lungs after the surgery. It's a struggle the first day, but then it gets better. The nurse's intercom, so you've got your little pen that you press if you need them. And what happens is they, within seconds, they say, are you okay, or do you need help? And you just tell them what you need and they come in straight away. This is my little chart to say what I can have each day. I'll go through that later. Okay, here we've got my bed. Messy, sorry. Excuse my clothes, that's what I'm gonna wear when I go. The little guest bed for your support person. Anthony stayed at the hotel because I didn't want him being here. The first night when I was coming out of surgery, he stayed with me because he was scared and I was really not well. So he stayed with me in the ICU. They gave me a big fan because I had a fever a few days ago. And I still can't use it because I love being cold, personally. Okay, you got your microwave and your fridge with some ice packs in it, more water. Got your kettle because they give you teas and your guests can cook and stuff. They give you heaps of water because you've got to drink lots of water the first few days. I do recommend getting some teas to make the taste better. I'm normally okay with just having plain water. I've never had a problem with it, but I found it was really, really heavy and hard to drink. So having tea kind of like eased it. My lotus flower that my friend Zarin got me, it's blooming a lot now. Little orchids from Destination Beauty. A valuable piece of roll of toilet paper. My chargers, sorry for the mess. This is some information they gave. I've got a voucher for more surgery if I want to come back. Don't know if I can go through anything again. But also like a little thing to tell me what days I can actually order a nurse to my hotel and what days they have their afternoon teas. Cupboards up here for storage. This is my view. I don't know if you can see because it's so early. That's my view of Bangkok. It's a Ferris wheel over there and like markets, which I'm going to go see. Anthony went to them and said they were amazing. Sink for your guests. Okay, the bathroom, please excuse the mess. So this is the bathroom. Okay, so this is really weird. Sorry if it's too much information, but once you get the catheter out, which is amazing because having a catheter really sucks because it restricts your movements. But once you do get it out, what they want you to do is pee into this if you're a boy. So it's a cylinder, you put your thingy in there and you measure the amount of urine that you have. And you have to record it. For the women, they have like a little cup inside the actual bowl, and they record it that way. Okay, my shower. Which I really love the colours, are gold and greens and blues. Yeah, and that's my hospital room, which I'm actually going to miss. It's been nice being here. Not the whole time, but you know, the actual stay has been great. Oh, some scrubs. They gave me 4 extra large and they're way too big, surprisingly. But yeah, I'm going to miss it because I felt like I was looked after really well here. I'm very careful. The staff here are amazing. The doctors here are amazing. You get a dietitian, you get the anaesthetist, you get your normal surgeon. They all come and see you and they all generally care. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for me today. Also, it might be a bit hard to kind of swallow the food at first. So I would recommend standing at your tray and eating the food and just do little laps in your room. So I find that if I'm looking at the food and I'm chewing, because you've got to chew like around 20 times at first, you're more likely to grab another piece of food because you just want to hurry up and get through it. Just have one bit, chew, and do laps, pace back and forth in your room. Look out the window for a little bit and then go back and have the next piece and then do it again. It helps you chew a lot better and makes you understand how full you are. So yeah, and then today they let us out. Well, they did ask me yesterday if I wanted to go earlier, but I had an on and off fever, so I wanted to make sure I was okay first. So they let me come out today. So I got discharged today, came back to the hotel about 1 o'clock in the afternoon and then went to the hairdressers and got my hair coloured. And I feel so much more me now. So yeah, I'm not 100%, which is probably why I'm not so vibrant in this video, so forgive me. I'm about 93% me again, but I'm getting there. One thing I want to say is my partner was absolutely incredible. The first night he didn't go, like he still had the room here at the hotel to go back to, but that first night he just stayed by my side the whole night and then went back in the morning to go get some sleep. But not only did he look after me, he looked after the other sleevers as well. And one of the sleevers had her daughter as a support person, and he would take her out to go eat dinner and, you know, to go to the markets and stuff. So she was getting out there and, you know, not stressing as much. So I just want to say a big thanks to my partner Anthony. He was incredible to so many people like that went through this experience with me. He's a legend and I love him so much. Yeah, I'm on the other side now. So now the challenge is to see what I can eat, see what I can't eat, what my body says I can't eat, and take it easy and take each day as it comes. I do want to get out there and see Bangkok as much as I can, but I'm going to try to listen to my body as well and just make sure that I'm okay. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share if you want to as well. But thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate your support and all the messages that came through whilst I was in hospital. Thank you so much. I did read them. Unfortunately, I couldn't really look at my phone too much because I'd get nauseous. But I did try to reply to those I could. And if not, I haven't, please don't think that I'm ignoring it. I did read the message and I really appreciated it. There were some times when I was like bawling my eyes out and I really needed those positive messages and they came at the right time. So thank you so much. You all know who you are. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching and I hope you have a wonderful day. And don't forget to be you. Bye.